I should have walked away. I should have gone upstairs, locked the door, and waited for morning like nothing had happened. But I didn't, because once you hear something like that, once you feel that kind of fear in your bones, you can't just ignore it, especially not when children are sleeping upstairs. My grandchildren. I stood there at the basement door, my hand still resting against the cold wood, my heart pounding so loudly it felt like it was echoing through the entire house. Think, just think. I took a slow step back, forcing myself to breathe. If something was down there, I couldn't just rush in blindly. I needed to be careful, quiet, smart, so I turned away. Not to run, but to prepare. The kitchen was just a few steps away. I moved quickly, grabbing the first thing I could find, a heavy flashlight from the counter drawer. My hands were shaking as I turned it on, the beam slicing through the dim darkness. Then I paused, listening. Nothing. No dragging sound. No whisper. Just silence again. Too much silence. The kind that feels like it's hiding something. I tightened my grip on the flashlight and walked back to the basement door. Still open. Still waiting. I pushed it a little wider this time. The stairs creaked softly beneath my foot as I placed it on the first step. Then the second. Then the third. Each step felt like I was going deeper into something I couldn't come back from. The air changed as I descended. Colder. Damp. There was a smell too. Faint, but noticeable. Not rot. Not exactly. But something. Stale. Closed. Like a place that hadn't been properly aired in a long time. By the time I reached halfway down the stairs, I could see the basement floor. Concrete. Bare. Except it wasn't empty. My breath caught in my throat. There were marks. Long, streaked marks across the floor. Like something heavy had been dragged. Over and over again. My hand tightened around the flashlight. This wasn't imagination. This was real. I stepped down the last few stairs slowly, my heart beating harder with every second. The light flickered above me, buzzing faintly. And then I heard it again. That whisper. Closer this time. Right in front of me. Hello! My voice came out softer than I expected. No answer. But I knew I wasn't alone. I could feel it. That presence. That weight in the air. I moved forward carefully, shining the flashlight across the room. Boxes lined one wall. Old furniture stacked in the corner. Everything looked normal. Too normal. Like it was staged. Like someone had tried too hard to make it look like storage. And then the light hit something. A door. At the far end of the basement. My stomach dropped. Because that door was not something you put in a normal basement. It was metal. Heavy, with a lock on the outside. A lock. On the outside. My pulse spiked. No, I whispered under my breath. There was no way. No way this was what I thought it was. I took a step closer. Then another. And that's when I heard it again. A faint sound. From behind the door. Not dragging this time. Not whispering. Breathing. Slow, weak, but definitely breathing. My entire body went cold. Someone was in there. Someone was locked inside that room. Oh my God. My hand trembled as I reached toward the handle. And then, footsteps. From upstairs. I froze. Every muscle in my body locked up. Someone was awake. The footsteps moved slowly across the floor above me, then stopped, right above the basement. My heart pounded so hard I thought I might pass out. Had they heard me? Had they known I came down here? The silence stretched. 1 second, 2, 3, and then the footsteps moved away. I let out a breath I didn't realize I was holding. But everything had changed now. This wasn't just something strange. This was something dangerous. Someone was locked in that room, and the only people who could have done it were sleeping upstairs, or at least pretending to. I stepped back from the door, my mind racing. I couldn't open it. Not now. Not like this. If Daniel or Melissa came down and found me, no, I couldn't risk it. Not yet. But one thing was clear now. Crystal clear. This house was not safe. And neither were the kids. I turned and hurried back toward the stairs. My movements quick but careful, my heart still racing. Every instinct inside me was screaming the same thing now. Get them out. I reached the top of the stairs and quietly closed the basement door, leaving it just as I found it. Then I moved fast. Up the hallway. Straight to the kids' room. I pushed the door open gently. Lily was curled up under her blanket, fast asleep. Ethan lay on his side, breathing softly. Innocent. Completely unaware. I stepped inside, my chest tightening. I'm so sorry, I whispered under my breath, because I knew what I had to do. I crossed the room and gently shook Ethan first. Ethan, wake up, sweetheart. He stirred, confused. Grandma. I said softly. We're going on a little trip, okay? Then I woke Lily. She blinked up at me sleepily. Grandma. Is it morning? No, baby, I whispered, forcing a calm smile. But we need to go. Where? Ethan asked, now sitting up. I glanced toward the door, then back at them. My voice dropped to a whisper. Away from here. And in that moment, I knew whatever was locked in that basement, I was going to find out. But first, I had to get the children out alive.